I'm a little bit tired, you know. I wanna home.
You're going to rest now. There's already a tweet gone out from you saying, maybe I fight Moses Itauma as well. Is that true?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know because now I wanna think what next.
Right, that would, garner him, and get him the experience he needs to compete with a Usyk, right? But right now is just not the time. I just think it's just too early, okay?
It's just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me because I've never been in that sort of fight.
Oleksandr Usyk responded to Moses Itauma's bold call-out following his knockout victory. While acknowledging the young heavyweight's raw talent, Usyk made it clear that he intends to take some time off before deciding his next move. He emphasized that he will carefully consider whether to face Itauma or explore other opponents.
I am with him right now. He's speaking with Joseph Parker.
This time I wanna rest.
You want to win?
Yeah, I wanna rest.
Holiday. Congratulations, champ. You were absolutely incredible tonight. Did you enjoy that performance?
Yeah, I'm very happy. Listen, I'm very happy. I trained hard, 3.5 months. I not look my family, my children. Now I'm a little bit tired, you know. I wanna home.
You're going to rest now. There's already a tweet gone out from you saying, maybe I fight Moses Itauma as well. Is that true?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know because now I wanna think what next. What next? Who my next opponent? Because now I have time and think about my career and the next fight.
You're loved in Ukraine, but I really do think you are loved by us here as well, and it showed tonight.
Thank you so much. I love UK people because it's a special fans, you know.
And you know, the final thing, people are now going to start talking about you as one of the greatest of all time. Does that mean something to you, to be one of the very greatest fighters and heavyweights of all time?
Thank you so much, bro.
Cheers. Thank you.
Anthony "Pretty Boy" Taylor stirred controversy on Twitter, writing, "Whyte took a dive. You can't convince me that kid can beat Usyk." His comment fueled heated debate, as fans questioned whether Moses Itauma's win over Dillian Whyte was true dominance or not. Taylor's doubt reflects a larger conversation about Itauma's readiness to challenge elite champions like Usyk. Meanwhile, promoter Turki Alalshik has pitched a showdown between Usyk and Itauma as the ultimate old lion versus young lion clash, experience and skill versus hunger and ambition. The matchup already has fans buzzing, eager to see whether youthful power can truly conquer seasoned mastery inside the ring.
Turki Alalshik is demanding the Moses Itauma versus Oleksandr Usyk fight. That's the fight that he would like to make happen, as you guys just read in the caption. And let me counterpunch. I mean, that sounds good. You know, I think that Turki is looking for someone to beat Usyk. And Moses' name is just the next name up, especially in his own personal interest. It's not Joseph Parker. I don't know what's the deal with Parker. I don't know why he doesn't like Parker. I mean, Parker to me is more like a Jon Snow, because I mean, he gets in battles and he gets scrapes and bleeds and abrasions and battle scars, but he ends up victorious at the end of the day, right? So that's what Joseph Parker reminds me of. But I think that it should be in order. It should be in order to fight. I don't think that a guy with 13 fights is or should be awarded that type of fight. Now, if the fight happened, it would be pretty good. Southpaw versus Southpaw, old lion versus, young lion. And I know Moses would jump on the opportunity of getting it, and he may get it. Depends on how bad does Turki want it. Because if Turki really wants this fight, if he really, really wanted that fight, he's going to offer enough money for Usyk to go in there. Because I think it's about Usyk, not Moses. You know what I mean? And also something else you have to factor in is it's not all about what Turki wants. It's also, and it should be, about what the sanctioning bodies demand.
Moses Itauma has boldly claimed that his skill set is superior to Oleksandr Usyk's, sparking heated debate across the boxing world. Usyk is widely considered one of the most complete fighters of his generation, renowned for his footwork, sharp combinations, and ability to adapt to any style. Yet at just 20 years old, Itauma insists his mix of speed, power, and composure can surpass even a reigning champion. Some dismiss his words as youthful overconfidence, while others see them as the mark of a fearless new generation ready to challenge legends.
You must have a view of what level you're at now.
If you want my honest opinion, I think
I do.
If my skill set, if you're talking about my ring IQ and what I display in the ring, I feel like I am the best in the world, but I haven't displayed the later rounds. That's all what I kind of want to get ticked off. So my next opponent or opponents this year, we're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me, because I've never been in that sort of fight.
Despite the hype, many boxing analysts remain cautious about rushing Moses Itauma into a showdown with Usyk. They argue that Usyk's experience is unmatched. He has faced every style imaginable, beaten world-class heavyweights, and consistently shown elite ring intelligence. Moses, by contrast, is still at the very beginning of his professional journey, and a leap this massive could prove more harmful than helpful.
Itauma can fight and beat the likes of Oleksandr Usyk, which everybody, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, is stating that he would love to make a fight with Usyk and Moses Itauma. That's the fight to be made. Me personally, I think it's too early in his career. At 20 years old, Usyk knows all the tricks of the trade. Usyk is very athletic. Okay, he's a southpaw. He's slick. He knows how to buy time. He knows how to control distance and range. He has an extremely high ring IQ. I think that's a step too far for Moses Itauma right now, right? But this is what Turkey want to see, and obviously Moses has a puncher's chance. Okay, he has a puncher's chance to land a big punch on Oleksandr Usyk, he's bigger than him. Usyk is 6'3" with a 78-inch arm reach, so Moses is bigger than him, right? And he obviously has a puncher's chance.
Analysts also point out that Moses's biggest win came against Dillian Whyte, who was already inactive and far from his prime at the time of their fight. While the knockout was impressive, critics argue that one victory over a fading veteran doesn't justify an immediate clash with a generational talent like Usyk. Instead, they suggest Itauma build his resume against active contenders, names like Joseph Parker or other rising heavyweights, before taking the ultimate leap into the deep end.
Oleksandr Usyk, he's bigger than him. Usyk is 6'3" with a 78-inch arm reach, so Moses is bigger than him, right? And he obviously has a puncher's chance. But with that said, I just think that, that's a step too far. There's other names that I could see Moses Itauma fight. Fight the likes of Joseph Parker, right? Big Zhang, okay? There's names out there that he can fight, right? That would, garner him, and get him the experience he needs to compete with a Usyk. Right, but right now is just not the time. I just think it's just too early. Okay, I think that we need to allow this young man to grow, right? And then we talk about Usyk. The problem is Usyk is 39, 40 years of age.
Trainer Ben Davison offers a different perspective, viewing the potential Usyk-Itauma clash as a rare opportunity for both fighters. He notes that since neither man has ever faced the other, the matchup carries a unique intrigue. While Usyk is vastly experienced, Davison highlights that he has yet to encounter a young heavyweight with Moses's combination of speed, power, and fearlessness. From his standpoint, the fight could not only test Itauma's mettle but also push Usyk into unfamiliar territory. Every great champion, Davison argues, eventually faces a challenge they've never seen before, and Moses might just be that test.
I'm sure you would have seen that Ring Magazine have put out a tweet tonight or an Instagram post saying that they've been informed that Turkey wants to see Usyk and Moses next. What do you think about that?
Let's see. You know, he's just had a big fight. I think, you know.
Is he ready for that, in your opinion? Just your opinion. Is he ready for?
I think it's one of them fights where it's a win-win. The experience he'd gained from it, the opportunity to really, you know, if Usyk was to box Dillian Whyte, people wouldn't say it would be a one-round job before tonight had happened. And I think, what he'd learned from it, the opportunity. And as much as Moses hasn't been in there with somebody like Usyk hasn't been in there with someone like Moses either.
Derek Chisora, however, has been brutally direct, warning Moses Itauma to avoid pursuing Usyk so soon. Chisora believes the 20-year-old is far too inexperienced, and that targeting inactive or aging legends is not the right way to build a lasting career. Having faced many of the division's top names himself, Chisora knows the dangers of rushing into big fights without proper preparation. His advice is for Moses to forge his own path by taking on active contenders at his level. Chasing fading legends may bring headlines, Chisora cautions, but it won't provide the experience needed to sustain success in the long run.
He's going to go out after the fights. Let's say Dillian does get the win. Who do you want to see him with next?
Don't know. If Dillian wins it, I'll be taking out.
And what about Moses? What next for him? Is it Oleksandr Usyk?
Huh?
If Moses gets the win, what next? Is it Oleksandr Usyk or is that too soon?
To leave Usyk alone. Usyk's a beast, man. Different beast.
Derek, what next for you? When are we going to see you next in the ring?
Right now I'm going to go sit down on the ringside and enjoy the fight.
Joseph Parker has taken a balanced stance on the potential Usyk-Itauma fight. He acknowledges that the matchup is possible, but stresses that it ultimately depends on Usyk's own timeline and decision-making. As one of the sport's reigning champions and a veteran of countless battles, Usyk has earned the right to dictate when and against whom he fights. Parker suggests that if Usyk is willing to face Moses, negotiations will follow, but he stops short of endorsing the idea outright, noting that both camps must carefully weigh the timing and circumstances before moving forward.
I am with Joseph Parker. Yeah, what did you make of that, Joseph?
Explosive and quick, faster than a lot of people thought. We thought it was going to be 3-4 rounds, and if it gets past that, it'll be a bit harder fight. But you know, one round, every fighter wants to come out and be explosive and knock out their opponent and go home and chill.
It's silly of me to say, do you want Moses next? Because really, you want Oleksandr Usyk, don't you?
Yeah, I want Usyk next. I know Usyk's deserves his time to relax and chill with his family. When he's ready, I'd love to open up negotiations and see if we can make that fight happen.
Does that extension clause with the sanctioning body give you more hope that it may well happen?
You just don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen. There's an extension to buy more time to an injury, and hopefully, you know, when he does decide to come back, then we can negotiate, and if we can make it happen, it'll be awesome.
Listen, we love you, and you're all about you, and we want you to be a world champion again, and I think you will be. But just say a final word on what we've witnessed tonight in a 20-year-old who may be the coming force eventually.
Listen, he did a tremendous job. I was just watching it now. I don't really see it properly, but he, power.
Promoter Frank Warren has voiced excitement over the possibility of Usyk versus Moses, though he urges caution. He admits the fight is appealing, and with Turki Al-Alshik, a key figure in staging major events in Saudi Arabia, expressing interest, serious discussions could be on the horizon. Still, Warren is clear that nothing is set in motion yet. Any decision will require input from Usyk's camp, Moses's team, and event organizers alike.